What's going on, guys? This is Luke from Sober from Despair. I'm making this video to kind of process, I guess, what I'm going through. I've reached what I feel to be a very pivotal moment in my recovery and one of the biggest moments in my life. And I don't know how I feel about it right now. I have a lot of mixed feelings of like almost melancholy, scared, very scared, depressed, bummed out, but then I have also feelings of accomplishment and excitement and just, I don't know how I feel. So, I'm not sure how long this video will be. It could be kind of long. I'm just going to go through my head right now what's going on. And I guess to explain it, we'll start at the beginning. I've been in recovery since May 13, 2011. My first day of recovery was that day, and that was the first day that I went into inpatient treatment in Denver at a place called Cedar. And I was very, very fortunate. The reason I was fortunate enough to go to Cedar, which is like one of the best rehabs in the country, is because I had insurance that would pay for it. The reason my insurance would pay for it was because my insurance has a case manager, and they basically hire this lady, and she dictates people's recovery that have drug problems and how they're going to do their recovery. So for me, for my case, she chose that I would go to Cedar. She chose that the insurance would pay for it. After I got done with Cedar on June 13th, 2011, I started my outpatient treatment. And she chose what outpatient treatment I'd go to and how long my program would be there. Also, what that would entail, me being there. So, when I got out of treatment at Cedar, I went to outpatient treatment at Elaine Hubler's office, and my program entailed me going to AA meetings twice a week, going to group therapy once a week, having individual therapy sessions twice a week, and having, I think, 3 UAs a week, and also taking naltrexone every day for 6 days a week, which is a lot. And I lived in Woodland Park, and all of this was based out of Colorado Springs. So that the drive for doing that was like 50 miles, and it was 1 hour each way. So it was a lot for me in the beginning. I was scared to death. I did not want to do it. I had done it once before, and I only made it 6 months at an outpatient treatment at Insight Services before I relapsed and I dropped out. And it was just a lot of work. And basically what Kathy does is throughout my stay in outpatient treatment, she would review my case, and every 8 weeks or so we would have a staffing, is what it was called. It was basically Kathy, my therapist, and I sitting down, and we would analyze where my growth was, how I was doing, and Kathy would decide if I needed to add stuff or take stuff away from my program. And so as I progressed, stuff would get taken away. If I regress, stuff would get added to bring me where I needed to be. And that was a huge benefit for me. I was supposed to graduate a year and a half after my outpatient, and that graduation date was in December of last year. And so my graduation day came up, and I wasn't ready. I didn't feel ready. So I pushed my date out again. I pushed it out until I believe February. And February came up, and I still didn't feel ready. So we pushed it out until May. And so April came around, and April 21st I had my relapse, just a couple weeks before I was supposed to graduate. When I had that relapse, I felt really scared. I didn't know what was going to be added to my program. I didn't know if I was going to get kicked out. I didn't know how my brain was going to react, how I was going to react after the relapse. And a lot of stuff got added to my treatment. I had to increase my UAs by a bunch. I ended up having to do individuals more. I started doing more AA, and it got me better. Kathy's success rate is, I believe, in the 90s for people that complete her program, end up being in recovery for long term. And the national average is like, I don't know, in the teens or something like that of people that try to get treatment and actually are successful with it. So I love my odds. And going through her program, doing this, going to Elaine's and doing this outpatient treatment has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's been the best experience of my life. As much as I've hated taking UAs, the UAs have even turned out to be fun. Me and Jennifer is a lady that is a receptionist there that does a lot of the UAs. We even made a game out of it. With the UAs, as dumb as this sounds, go in and basically what you do is there's a form that they have to fill out, and it fills out like what type of drug screening you're supposed to do, the client's name, who ordered the drug test. There's just a lot of stuff on this form, and the form is one of those forms that has 2 sheets of paper to it, so when you write through, it marks below on the second piece of paper. And there's also labels that you have to fill out on the form. And the labels get peeled off. And then you put the labels onto the UA cup. So when I was done with the UA, I would have the cap screwed onto the cup. We'll pretend this is the cup. So the cap screwed on. Then you put one label over top of it and onto the side. So it fits like that. It's a thin strip, like my thumb and index finger. And then there's the other label that you wrap around that label in the cup. So it kind of forms a seal. And if that's broken at all, the UA is invalid and they won't test it. So we'd fill out the form, and then she'd give me the cup, and while I'd go to the bathroom, she'd have to peel off the sticky parts, set them on the side on the table, and then fold up a piece of paper, fold up the form, and put it into a baggie that I would place my UA in. And so I got really good at peeing, like really good. I'd go to the bathroom, take my UA, and come out, and I would always try to beat her, and she would try to beat me. She would have to peel those off, fold it up, put it in the paper, and I would just have to pee in the cup and like be done. So my UAs would last me like 5 seconds, and I would come out and be like, oh, I beat you. Sometimes she beat me. She only beat me like once or twice, though. If you ever watch this, Jennifer, I'm still a king. And that gave me a ton of accountability. If I relapsed, they would find out. If I was doing bad, they would find out. And I'm going to miss that. As big of a pain as in the ass it was, as much work as this has taken. I can remember when I was doing naltrexone, I would have to plan my entire week around being down there and taking this pill, having somebody watch me take the pill, because I wasn't trusted to take it on my own yet. And that was for 9 months. So there'd be, if I was working that day, and there's specific times that I'm able to go to the office and take my naltrexone, I would have to plan my work schedule around it. When I was working at Red Robin, we'd have like doubles or whatever, and I would have to have a break, like a 45-minute break. Instead of eating my lunch and like relaxing on that break, I would drive across town 30 minutes and take my naltrexone, or take a UA if I had to take a UA. And then I would call Red Robin and like order my food on my way back so it would be hot, so I could have like 10 minutes to eat my food before I started my shift. And it was just a pain in the ass. I hated having to get a piece of paper signed to like document where I had gone to AA and turn that in each month. It was like a calendar, and it would show what day you were at AA. I hated having to schedule my week for the past 2.5 years. I've had to schedule my week every day, calling in to see if my number's up, if I have a UA that day. But these were all things that, in the grand scheme of things, have made me better. I have been in recovery for the past 2.5 years, and this has been the one constant denominator in my whole recovery. I've gone to a ton of AA meetings all across town. Haven't really found one that's been a 100% home group that I've been able to maintain with my schedule. I've had a ton of different sponsors. My family is broken up. My parents have had a divorce. I've had friends come and go out of my life in the past 2 years. All these changes have happened. But this has been the one thing that has helped me become who I am. And I like who I am. And the credit goes 100% to Kathy, to Elaine, and to the people that were in my group that I've seen every week. The people who got better with me. And I guess a lot of my fear is not having that anymore. I've seen a lot of people come and go through group. I've seen people graduate in group. I've seen people do amazing stuff with their lives and become amazing and graduate from group and continue to do amazing. But then I've also seen people graduate from group and be at a really good point in their life, be better than I am right now. They have qualities that I'm striving to have, that I'd love to have. And I hear about where they are now after graduating, and they relapse and they're back at square one, worse than square one. They're probably in one of the worst places they've been. And so that scares me. I'm scared not having a case anymore. I'm scared not having somebody to tell me how I could improve, even though a lot of times it's stuff that I was uncomfortable doing, stuff that I didn't want to do. But all that direction and all the stuff that they've made me do has all been stuff that's gotten me better. I can look at myself in the mirror today and I could say I like who I'm becoming. I've never been able to do that before. I hated who I was. I was self-conscious. I was socially awkward. I didn't like who I was, and I didn't know how to change myself. Well, then I got into drugs, and that was just compiled with addiction. All those same feelings got catalyzed with addiction, even worse. And they synergized together, and I would use because I hated who I was. And I'd use not to get sick, and I'd use because I was an addict, but there were so many pieces of myself that were so messed up that I didn't like, and I would just continue using, and they would get worse and worse. Well, now having these past 2.5 years, I've been able to work on all those issues, and I've had people in my corner, people improving me, people giving me directive on how I can get better, on what I can do to succeed, what I can do to improve. And that's been the greatest gift I've ever been able to receive. I get frustrated a lot. I go to group and I hear people bitch about UAs. I hear people bitch about having to be in group. I hear lies from people not being authentic with the group. Again, I hear a lot of good stuff too, I'm not discrediting that, but when I hear these things, it frustrates me, and it's frustrated me a lot in the past because I know this works, and I know this helps us get better because I've experienced it. I don't know any other way that I can improve. I really don't. If it was up to me and I didn't have an insurance company or a plan provided by Kathy and my therapist throughout these first 2.5 years, I don't think I would have been able to do it. If I was just going to AA or NA or something like that and doing it that way, I don't know if that would have worked for me. For me, this has been the best approach, and I can't think of another approach that would be better. And so now it's really up to me to figure out what that's going to be and how I can improve. And it's scary. It's scary not having the accountability of if I fail a UA or if I relapse. It's scary not having somebody to answer to if I have that relapse. It's scary knowing that it can just be me, because I've been there before. I know who I was before this, and I'm scared to death to be that person again. But I have the potential to be that person again. I've been in outpatient before and I've dropped out. I know where this leads. I've seen people that have graduated and haven't continued, and I know where they are now. And it's just not a place that I want to be. So I'm really scared. I'm also bummed out when I think about it, because this was the best experience of my life. This experience gave me life. And this experience made me the man that I will become. And I'm so grateful for that. I have so much appreciation for that. And so now people tell me, like, congratulations on being about ready to graduate. My family's told me that. My girlfriend's told me that. Different people I've talked to. And I don't know how to articulate how I feel about it. I guess that's what this video blog's about, is just to get this off my chest, and maybe I'm going to do some writing about it tonight too as well, but I don't feel like I should be congratulated. I feel like the real congratulations goes to the person that enters this and is about ready to have all this in store for them. That's where the real congratulation comes. That's where the real party is. So I'm scared for Wednesday. I have a bunch of different mixed emotion. I'm very proud. I have a ton of pride right now. I'm proud that I've done what it's taken me so many attempts to do. I'm proud that it's taken me so long to get this and I haven't given up. I'm proud that I've had to reset my graduation date, that I've relapsed and I maintained and I stuck with it. And now it's time for me to graduate. I'm proud that I have somebody that has a 90% success rate and they're saying, it's time for you to graduate. You have reached that point. And my head is there. My head is there, but my heart isn't there yet. I always feel like in recovery, my head gets there first and my heart follows behind. So, I don't know, I'm just really kind of emotional lately. Just a lot's going on in my head, and I've been doing a lot of reflecting. And I'm just so thankful for this opportunity and this experience. And I'm so thankful for all the people I've met. These people have given me motivation when I was down. When I had a relapse and I was really down, these people have got me through it. These people have given me motivation with Sober from Despair. Kept me motivated on this, when a lot of times this is something that hasn't really fully taken off yet, and not super motivated at times. At times I'm like, what am I doing? Like, is this the right thing for me? And so I've had a ton of motivation from them. I've had a bunch of motivation with seeing how much better other people are and how I want to be like them, how I want to be as good as they are. And that's kept me going. I've just seen so many improvements in other people, and I want that. And I've seen so many improvements in myself, and I want to continue to do that. And this has been the one way that I've done that so far. My whole time in recovery, I've been here. And this is going away. A lot of aspects of this are going away. I'm still going to go to group, and I still have the opportunity to do that, but I'm missing all this other piece, and this other piece is huge. And so now it's relying on me to be accountable to myself and fully have it all internalized. And it's scary. It's so scary. So, I don't know. I know I'm probably going on and on now. I'm sorry to throw up on you guys. If you made it through this video, I hope you got something from it. And I appreciate you for watching this. But I'll I'll continue to talk about it when it comes up, when I think about it, and I'll fill you all in on what's going on in my life and how I'm doing outside of this program. And I'm just ready for the future to see what it holds. I guess I'm just scared to have it happen. I'm just worried about what it could potentially hold if I don't do well. So I don't know. Thank you for watching this. This is Luke from Sober from Despair. Take care.